Hey Gemini, I just pulled cards for you and honestly, what came through is something I need to share because this energy around international connections and life-changing encounters is so present right now. I sat down with my deck this morning and the cards literally would not stop talking about this theme of someone from a completely different background, maybe even a different country, coming into your world and just transforming everything. So let me walk you through what I saw because this reading got me genuinely excited for what's coming your way. The first card that came out is the Fool, and I have to tell you, when this card shows up in a reading about new connections and life transformations, it's never just about casual encounters. The Fool is that pure, untainted energy of new beginnings, of stepping into something completely unknown with this beautiful sense of trust and openness. And for you Gemini, what I'm seeing here is that you're about to enter this phase where everything feels fresh and possible again. You know that feeling when you've been doing the same routines, seeing the same faces, having the same conversations, and then suddenly something shifts and you remember what it feels like to be genuinely curious about life again. That's the Fool energy. What's really interesting about this card in your reading is that it's suggesting you're being called to step outside your comfort zone in a major way. And I don't mean just trying a new restaurant or taking a different route to work. I mean actually opening yourself up to experiences and people who come from completely different worlds than yours. The Fool doesn't carry baggage, doesn't have preconceived notions about how things should be. This card is telling me that the connection coming your way is going to require you to show up with that same energy of openness and willingness to be surprised. I keep seeing this image of borders dissolving, not just physical geographical borders but mental ones too. You might have certain ideas about what your life is supposed to look like, who you're supposed to connect with, what path you're supposed to be on. The Fool is asking you to release all of that and just be present to what wants to emerge. Because this person coming into your life, they're not going to fit any template you've imagined. They're going to bring perspectives and ways of being that are so different from what you're used to, and that's exactly the point. The beautiful thing about the Fool is that it represents trust in the journey itself. You don't need to have it all figured out. You don't need to know exactly where this connection is going to lead or how it's going to unfold. You just need to say yes when the opportunity presents itself. And I'm getting really strongly that this opportunity might come in unexpected ways. Maybe through work, maybe through online communities, maybe through a friend of a friend who mentions someone they know from another country. The universe has so many ways of orchestrating these meetings, and the Fool energy suggests it's going to feel both random and absolutely meant to be at the same time. For you specifically as a Gemini, this Fool energy is really amplified because you're already naturally curious and adaptable. But what I'm seeing is that you might have gotten a little bit stuck in your head lately, overthinking things, analyzing potential outcomes before they even happen. The Fool is inviting you to drop down from your mental space and into your heart, into your gut instinct. When this person shows up, you're going to know. There's going to be this unmistakable feeling of recognition, even though they're from a completely different background. It's like your soul knows this meeting is significant even if your logical mind can't quite explain why yet. Moving to the second card, I pulled the Ace of Cups, and wow, this just confirms everything about the emotional depth and transformation this connection is going to bring. The Ace of Cups is pure emotional potential. It's the beginning of a significant emotional or spiritual journey, and in the context of this international connection, it's telling me that this isn't going to be a surface-level friendship or acquaintance. This is someone who's going to touch your heart in a profound way. What I love about the Ace of Cups here is that it represents an overflowing of emotion, of love in its purest form. And that doesn't necessarily mean romantic love, though it could be. It means connection that fills you up, that makes you feel seen and understood in ways you didn't even know you were craving. This person from another country is going to bring something into your life that you didn't even know was missing. They're going to show you different ways of expressing care, different ways of being in relationship, different perspectives on what matters in life. I'm seeing that this connection is going to open your heart in new ways. Maybe you've been protective of your emotional space lately, maybe you've had walls up without even realizing it. The Ace of Cups says those walls are going to come down naturally, effortlessly, because this person creates such a safe space for you to be vulnerable. There's something about their different cultural background and life experience that's going to make it easier for you to share parts of yourself that you normally keep hidden. The Ace of Cups also speaks to creativity and inspiration, and I'm getting that this international connection is going to spark something creative in you. Maybe you'll be inspired to learn their language, to explore their culture, to create something together. There's this beautiful exchange of ideas and perspectives that's going to flow between you. For Gemini especially, who thrives on mental stimulation and variety, this is going to be incredibly nourishing. You're going to find yourself thinking in new ways, seeing possibilities you never considered before. What's also significant about this card is the timing. Aces represent new beginnings, but they also represent opportunities that need to be seized. The Ace of Cups is presenting itself to you, offering this beautiful emotional connection, but you have to be willing to receive it. You have to be willing to let someone new into your inner world. And I know for air signs like you, emotional vulnerability can sometimes feel uncomfortable or overwhelming. But the cards are saying that this connection is worth opening up for. The emotional fulfillment and growth that's going to come from this relationship is something you'll look back on as a major turning point in your life. The third card that came through is the Three of Swords, and I know this might seem jarring after the beautiful energy of the Fool and Ace of Cups, but stay with me because this card is actually providing really important information about why this international connection is coming into your life right now. The Three of Swords traditionally represents heartbreak, disappointment, or painful realizations, but in this context, it's showing me that you've been through some emotional difficulty recently. Maybe a relationship ended, maybe you experienced disappointment in a friendship, or maybe you've just been feeling disconnected from people in your current environment. The Three of Swords is acknowledging that there's been some sadness or loneliness in your world. And what's interesting is that this person from another country is coming in as part of your healing journey. They're going to show you that connection can feel different than what you've experienced before. They're going to restore your faith in people and in the possibility of being truly understood. Sometimes we need someone from outside our usual circles to help us see ourselves clearly again. I'm also getting that the Three of Swords is highlighting a necessary ending or release that's making space for this new connection. Maybe you need to let go of expectations about what relationships should look like based on your past experiences. Maybe you need to release attachment to staying comfortable and familiar. The Three of Swords, as difficult as its energy can be, is actually clearing the path for something much better to come in. It's like the universe saying, I know that hurt, I know that was hard, but look what I have for you now. For you as a Gemini, the Three of Swords might also be pointing to mental patterns that need to shift. Maybe you've been overthinking potential connections, talking yourself out of opportunities because you're afraid of being disappointed again. Maybe you've been protecting yourself by staying surface level with people. This card is showing that those defensive patterns are actually blocking the beautiful connection that wants to come through. The international person coming into your life is going to help you heal these patterns just by being authentically themselves and showing you that it's safe to open up again. There's also something here about the Three of Swords representing breakthrough moments. Sometimes pain and difficulty crack us open in ways that allow new light to come in. The struggles you've been through have actually prepared you for this connection. You're going to appreciate the depth and authenticity this person brings because you know what it's like to have relationships that lack those qualities. Every difficult experience has been teaching you what you truly value in connection, and now you're ready to recognize it when it shows up. Now we get to the fourth card, the Five of Pentacles, and this is adding another layer to understanding where you're at right now and why this international connection is so significant. The Five of Pentacles often represents feeling left out in the cold, experiencing scarcity or isolation, feeling like you're on the outside looking in at where you want to be. And I'm picking up that you might be feeling somewhat isolated in your current environment, maybe feeling like you don't quite fit in with the people around you or like you're seeking something deeper that you can't quite find in your immediate circle. This card is validation that what you've been feeling is real. There has been a sense of something missing, a feeling of not being fully nourished by your current connections or environment. But here's the beautiful thing about the Five of Pentacles in this reading. It's showing the contrast so you can recognize the abundance when it arrives. This person from another country is going to feel like coming in from the cold into a warm, welcoming space. They're going to provide something you've been genuinely needing, whether that's intellectual stimulation, emotional understanding, or just that sense of being on the same wavelength with someone. What I find really interesting is that the Five of Pentacles can also represent finding help from unexpected sources. You might be looking for connection and fulfillment in all the familiar places, but the universe is saying nope. What you're looking for is actually going to come from somewhere you never thought to look. From another country, another culture, another way of living and thinking. This person is going to bring resources into your life, and I don't just mean material resources. I mean emotional richness, new perspectives, opportunities you never would have encountered otherwise. The Five of Pentacles is also about spiritual seeking and sometimes feeling spiritually disconnected or empty. And as a Gemini who lives so much in the mental realm, you might have been feeling that disconnect between your thoughts and something deeper, something more meaningful. This international connection is going to help bridge that gap. They might introduce you to different spiritual or philosophical traditions, or they might just embody a way of being that reminds you what really matters beyond the day-to-day mental chatter. There's also practical guidance in this card about not letting pride or fear of vulnerability keep you isolated. When this person shows up in your life, when this opportunity for connection presents itself, don't let any sense of having to have it all together stop you from being real with them. The Five of Pentacles says some of the most powerful connections happen when we're willing to be seen in our struggles, in our seeking, in our humanity. This person is going to appreciate your authenticity far more than any polished version of yourself you might be tempted to present. The fifth card is the Six of Wands, and this is where the reading really starts to show the outcome and transformation this connection is going to bring. The Six of Wands is about victory, recognition, and success, but what I love about it in this context is that it's showing how this international connection is going to elevate you in some way. You're going to feel more confident, more visible, more aligned with your path. There's a sense of things finally clicking into place after a period of struggle or uncertainty. What I'm seeing with the Six of Wands is that this connection might actually bring opportunities for travel, for expanding your world in literal ways. Maybe you'll visit their country, maybe you'll collaborate on projects that have an international dimension, maybe they'll introduce you to networks and communities that span across borders. The Six of Wands is about forward movement and progress, and this person is going to be a catalyst for you stepping into a bigger version of your life. They're going to believe in you, support your dreams, and possibly even open doors that were previously closed. There's also something about the Six of Wands that speaks to receiving recognition or validation for who you really are. This international connection sees you clearly, appreciates your unique qualities, and celebrates you in a way that might be different from what you're used to. Different cultures have different values, different ways of expressing appreciation and support. This person might recognize gifts and talents in you that haven't been fully acknowledged in your current environment. That outside perspective is going to be incredibly valuable and affirming. For Gemini specifically, the Six of Wands suggests that your communication skills, your versatility, your curiosity about the world are all going to be major assets in this connection and in what flows from it. You might find yourself in a position where you're bridging cultures, translating ideas between different worlds, facilitating understanding between diverse groups. This is the kind of role that lights you up as a Gemini, and this international connection is going to create opportunities for you to shine in exactly that way. The Six of Wands also has this energy of having gone through challenges and coming out on top. All the isolation suggested by the Five of Pentacles, all the heartache from the Three of Swords, all the uncertainty of the Fool, it all leads to this moment of triumph and celebration. You're going to look back and see how every piece was necessary, how every difficulty was actually guiding you toward this transformative connection. And there's going to be this beautiful sense of rightness about it all, like you finally understand why certain things had to happen the way they did. The sixth and final card is the Chariot, and this is such a powerful card to end on because it's all about determination, willpower, and moving forward with purpose. The Chariot tells me that this international connection isn't just going to be a pleasant experience, it's going to fundamentally change the direction of your life. You're going to feel more in control of your path, more clear about where you're headed, more confident in your ability to navigate whatever comes your way. What's significant about the Chariot here is that it represents successful integration of different elements. The traditional image shows someone controlling two sphinxes or horses pulling in different directions, and that's exactly what you're going to be doing, integrating different cultures, different perspectives, different ways of being into your life in a way that creates forward momentum. This international connection isn't going to pull you away from who you are. It's going to help you become more fully yourself by expanding your understanding of what's possible. The Chariot also speaks to travel and movement, and I'm seeing actual physical journeys connected to this person. Maybe you'll travel to meet them or travel together to explore new places. There's this sense of adventure and exploration that's going to characterize this connection. And for you as a Gemini who loves variety and new experiences, this is going to be incredibly fulfilling. You're going to feel alive in a way you maybe haven't felt in a while. What I really want to emphasize about the Chariot is the element of choice and agency it represents. Yes, this person is coming into your life as a gift from the universe, but you're going to have to make active choices to nurture this connection and let it transform you. You're going to have to choose courage over fear, openness over protection, adventure over comfort. The Chariot says you have the strength and determination to do exactly that. You're ready for this, even if it feels scary or uncertain at times. The Chariot at the end of this reading also suggests that this international connection is going to help you claim your power in new ways. You're going to discover strengths you didn't know you had, overcome obstacles you thought were insurmountable, and move toward your goals with renewed focus and energy. This person is going to inspire you, challenge you in the best ways, and support you in becoming who you're meant to be. So Gemini, when I look at these 6 cards together, the Fool, Ace of Cups, 3 of Swords, 5 of Pentacles, 6 of Wands, and the Chariot, I see this beautiful story of transformation through connection. You've been through some tough times, feeling isolated and disappointed, maybe questioning whether deep, meaningful connection is even possible for you anymore. And the universe is responding to that questioning with a resounding yes. Not only is it possible, it's on its way, and it's going to come from the most unexpected source, someone from another country who brings a completely different energy and perspective into your world. This isn't just about meeting someone new, it's about your life opening up in ways you can't even imagine right now. It's about healing, growth, adventure, recognition, and ultimately stepping into a more empowered version of yourself. The international connection coming your way is a catalyst for all of this, but the transformation is ultimately yours. You're the one who's going to choose to stay open, to say yes to the adventure, to let yourself be changed by this beautiful encounter. I want you to pay attention over the coming weeks and months to opportunities for connection with people from different backgrounds. Say yes to events or groups that bring together diverse communities. Be open to online connections with people from other countries. If work or other circumstances create opportunities to interact with international colleagues or communities, lean into those moments. The universe is setting up this meeting, but you have to be present and available for it to happen. And when this person does show up in your life, you're going to know. There's going to be that full energy of excitement and possibility, that Ace of Cups overflow of emotion and connection, and you're going to feel yourself being pulled towards something new and transformative. Trust that pull, Gemini. Trust that your struggles have prepared you for this. Trust that you're ready for the adventure ahead. This is such a beautiful reading and I'm genuinely excited for what's unfolding for you. International connections have such a special quality to them because they expand our world in every sense, geographically, culturally, emotionally, spiritually. And you're about to experience exactly that kind of expansion. Your life is about to get so much richer and more interesting. And it all starts with being open to someone who comes from a different world than yours, bringing gifts you didn't even know you needed.